what was essentially a distribution of work and a way of transferring skills from generation to generation became discriminatory, took some horrible forms. Even today, in rural India, still it persists. But on another level, it is a social security system. I must tell you this. My grandfather opened up a big chowdhury. I think his father also had done it. He expanded it further. And in this place, I was very young, if I remember right, somewhere around 200 to 300 students would stay there. These are all children from remote villages where there are no schools. They come here, free stay, free food, free education, but they must study. There is a warden with a stick, they must study. Everything free. Only for his clan, only for his caste. Well, similar things were done by other people for their own cause. So it was a kind of a social security system that this was so in India. If you go to any village and you say, I belong to this caste, those people will feed you. Otherwise, you have no social security. So till we build a proper social security, these things have worked, but the word caste should be a vocabulary of the past, not of the future. In 21st century, we don't need that. But at the same time, it's important that we don't dismantle any structure without creating a better alternative structure. When there is no alternative structure, people will fall through the cracks, ordinary people will suffer because there is no support system. So this is happening in urban centers today. People who are living in the village migrate to the city. There is no caste, there is no clan. Well, if you don't make it, you just go to the very bottom to be exploited in every possible way. This happens in every country. So, these were kind of support systems or social securities which are still working. So I would always say, however bad a system is, before dismantling it, create a better system, otherwise too many people will suffer. But in 21st century, we should not be dividing the society on the basis of caste. This is being talked about, I know, but I don't think that's the place to go. It is time that people start forgetting what is their caste. We create a society where everybody is supported, where everybody has a way to survive, where everybody has a way to thrive, not just my clan. Here in Yoga Center, we don't even ask, we don't even know which religion you are, which caste you are, what the hell you are. If you look like a human being, you're okay with me. Let that be the way forward. Who your father was should not determine who you are. Who you are should determine who you are. A society where you are measured for your competence, you are measured for your way of being, you are measured for what you can do, not for who your father was. It's time to do that.
Sadhguru Karthikeyan from Tamil Nadu asks, in my town, there is a temple that I go to every day. The local priest noticed a crack in the idol and dunked it in the deepest part of the river because it was cracked. They drowned my god and now they are replacing it. It was so close to my heart. How can they do this, Sadhguru?
I'm standing next to the miracle of mind. Are you cracked? Well, you must understand, You live in a civilization where this is the only civilization on the planet which is fully conscious that we created the gods. Everywhere else, they've been told God created them. But this is a culture and civilization where we are conscious that we created our gods. That's why we make them the way we want. Hello? Now, all of you know that once a year you have the Ganapati festival. We make a Ganapati. Those of you who don't understand, the elephant-faced god, I'm sure you've seen. We make him nicely out of mud or maybe dough. We worship him like he's everything. After 15 days, we drown him in the water and he dissolves and we're very happy. How's that? Where else in the world is it possible that which you consider as God, you drown him and dissolve him? There are many such cultures. In Bastar, they worship the Devi for one whole year and at the end of the year, they drown her. This is this kind of culture. But your temple priest, I'm glad he's doing what he's doing, because if an idol is properly consecrated, it's reverberating with some energy. If it cracks or if it's damaged in some way, it's possible that it became a receding energy. Once it becomes a receding energy, that's not good for people. People should not go near it. We will usually find the deepest part of the river and drop it, or take it to the ocean and drop it so that nobody is influenced by it. It's a good thing to do. So, these days, a cracked idol, if you find, you bring it and keep it in your garden because you think it's a nice decor. No, it's not a good thing to do. If it is not well consecrated, it doesn't matter, it's just stone. But if it's well consecrated and now it's damaged, it becomes a receding force and it could cause damage to human beings. It's best that you're not around that. There are some famous places in Tamil Nadu, I don't want to name it, that it is believed if you go there, you will face failure. The political leaders of the state will never go to this temple because they will lose their election if they go there, because it's receding energy. For a long time, it's been receding. So, your temple priest, whoever he is, seems to be a wise man. It's a good thing to do.
Virushti from Gujarat asks, Sadhguru, you mentioned that you never pray in any temple. Then why are you building so many temples? Why do you want us to go to these temples?
I never taught you a prayer, I only built a temple. You must understand, the word prayer as an act means you're appealing for something. Even if you go to the court of law, you present a prayer. Dear Lord, these are the words in the court also. Oh my Lord, I want this. So prayer is essentially a kind of appeal. So in that context I said, no matter what, I never appealed. I'm saying, if there is something here that you consider as divine and it needs your advice how to function, no good. Hello? If it's of a higher intelligence than me, it's stupid for me to tell him what to do. If he's a lower intelligence than me, again it's stupid for me to tell him what to do. Hello? I believe it is of a higher intelligence than me, so I don't say anything as to what he should do or she should do. They can do whatever. It's for me to handle it the way it comes. They wanted to crack my head, they cracked my head and removed half my brain, but I'm doing fine with half a brain, hello? So, I never prayed, nor should you. A temple is an energetic space. It's for you to just soak it in. But if you just say that, you need a phone, if you go into the temple, you have to take pictures of the idol, or you must be making. All right, that one. Otherwise, something. So you need something. So we'll teach you something, no, I mean a mantra, okay? If you don't know how to be silent, use appropriate sounds to become silent. If you simply know how to be still, no need for anything. If you do not know how to be still, we can use some sounds to bring that stillness. But that's not prayer, you're not asking for anything. If you go into your powerful space, never ask for anything. So do whatever the hell you want, I will handle it. Hello?
Medha Shri from Karnataka asks, Namaskaram Sadhguru, I am a Shiva Bhakta. I want to see the real Shiva, not just a linga or a statue. What do I have to do for that?
Wow. Shiva, how far can I go? No, the microphone. Hello? The word Shiva means that which is not. If you want to perceive that which is not, that means that which doesn't have a form or a feel. How to perceive that? Right now, your ability to perceive through the five sense organs is only what you can see. See, right now, tell me, am I more important to you or the air that you breathe right now is more important to you? Be honest, huh? Now who said? Don't think I'm that naive. The air that you breathe is vital, but you can't see it. Because you can't see it, you can argue it's not there. But if you hold your nose, then you know, you won't survive. So, anything which is subtle, your sense organs are not able to perceive. So that which is not means that which doesn't have a form, that which doesn't have a feel, that which doesn't have any smell or taste. How to perceive that? Your perception has to transcend, because you can't see the air unless you're from Delhi. That's why they're smoking it, so that you can see it. Now so if you want to perceive that, you need to transcend your sense organs. There are ways to perceive beyond the five senses of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting and touching. Beyond that, there is perception. But it will need a certain level of focus and above all, involvement. Right now, 21st century, oh, you don't know the problems of a guru. Getting people focused on some damn thing, you know what all circus you have to do? Hello? Because we have the most distracted generation ever. Some jing-bang should be happening all the time. Little 2 minutes of nothing means they will become depressed, they'll have FOMO. Maybe I'm missing out the whole universe. On the phone screen, of course. Look at this guy. So, because of this looks like a very impossible task. It is not. If you bring a profound sense of involvement into something, anything, absolute sense of involvement, you will know what is Shiva. That which is not, that which is formless, that which is without any feel or any kind of boundary. It's not somewhere, it's everywhere, but you are incapable of experiencing anything outside of this. Hello? Right now, are you able to hear me? Where do you hear me? Within yourself? Where do you see me? Within yourself? So you are incapable of experiencing anything outside of you. So even if it comes to Shiva, you can only experience it within yourself because everything that's physical about you, everything which has a form and a feel about you, you gathered from this planet. Huh? Who am I talking to? Anything that you can touch about you and see, you gathered from outside, isn't it? So what you gather can be yours, it's not you. To gather so much, there must be something more fundamental. So what you have gathered, if you can keep it aside for a minute, this is what meditativeness means. Meditation means this, all that you have gathered, keep it down for a moment, then you are Shiva.
Hyun Lee Moon from Korea asks,
Which
Sadhguru,
Korea? Which is it, south or north? Accordingly I'll answer.
Sadhguru, I came from abroad and I find it difficult to comprehend Shiva. Gods and demons worship him. He's a man, but also part woman. I find him quite strange, yet I am drawn to him. How can I better relate to Shiva?
Well, he is not a guy who is looking for relationships. Not a guy who is looking for relationships. So, how can you relate to him? Well, how do you… See, you live in a home, whatever kind of home it is, you know if the ceiling leaks, you know that. The flooring is cracked, you know that. If rats coming out of the walls, you know that. But you do not know the condition of the foundation, isn't it? Most important part of your house, but you have no clue. That's the problem. You have no relationship with the foundations because you can't see it, you can't feel it, you're not living there. The same thing here. You are not living with the roots. You are too enamored with the surface. I don't even know if you looked at your wife's face or your husband's face in the last 15 days, unless you have a photo on the… Hello? Because she keeps sending it. She keeps sending it. I take this thing seriously, be careful. Huh? So, how do you relate to Shiva? How do you relate to the roots of who you are? The only way is to turn inward. Turning inward does not mean contemplation. Turning inward does not mean analyzing and synthesizing yourself. Turning inward means going beyond all that you have gathered from outside. body is gathered from outside, all the content of the mind is gathered from outside,